Green on the grass today at beautiful Belmont. The card began, a new week began at 12:55. We had some close finishes, some good chunky size fields, and two hosts here on Belmont Insider. It's Jason Blewitt, Richard Migliore. This is your Belmont Insider debut, right? You're breaking your maiden for the fall meet.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Feels like it's been forever since closing day of Saratoga. We had a great time up there, but it resumes again now. We're here. Probably throw 109 buyer.
I'm thinking a big triple-digit fig tonight on Belmont Insider. We're glad you've joined us here on MSG Plus. A lot to cover tonight, Mig. We had plenty of turf. We kind of broke the card down into 4 dirt races, 4 turf races, and then the nightcap, which concluded the pick 6 and late pick 4, was run on the main track. But a nice day here. You couldn't have asked for, as far as late summer goes, you couldn't have asked for a better afternoon for racing.
Yeah, it feels like Indian summer. It was great racing, great weather. I was up in Toronto over the weekend. It was cold and chilly. Nice to be back home.
All right. Speaking of home, that is not where Beholder may close out her career, at least this year, and there is talk of her coming back in 2016. But some great news regarding, as of now, they are pointing to the Breeders' Cup Classic with this multiple Eclipse winner.
Although the owner, Belmont Insider, did leave in that caveat, unless Richard Mandela feels they should go in another direction. Why wouldn't you take a shot, though? The way she won the Pacific Classic was about as good as it gets. Tied for the fastest buyer figure of the year, and looked like she won with something left. I want to see her take her show on the road, so to speak. I mean, she did run second in the Kentucky Oaks to Princess of Silmar when Princess of Silmar was very good, but she acted up that day. She's more mature mentally, where she's going to handle the shipping in a new place. It'll be interesting to see what they do if they ship in early and get her acclimated.
The neat thing, we're just a week away from her starting in the Zenyatta, though, so that'll be cool. That will be the interim spot between the Breeders' Cup and, of course, her record-setting victory against the boys in the Pacific Classic. Now, escaping the long shadow, and it has been an overwhelming shadow of American Pharoah, comes the sort of, and I say this with peace and love, the second-tier, third-tier 3-year-olds who are running Saturday down at Parks in the Pennsylvania Derby, mainly Frosted and Upstart.
Yeah, as we were looking at the Fountain of Youth, where Upstart was eventually disqualified for interference, Frosted flattened out that day, but I think this is a different Frosted than we've seen now. And he was revved up and primed for a big effort in the Travers. He's the guy who did all the dirty work. He took on American Pharoah, more than kept him honest, kind of set it up for Keen Ice to pick him off. I think Frosted gets a little different setup and no American Pharoah in there to spar with early. Maybe Frosted gets that $1 million pot.
And he could be the latest Grade 1 winner. He's already got the Grade 1 wood, but another Grade 1 winner for Tappet, who continues to smash all sorts of barriers, and there are a few worlds left for Tappet as a stallion to conquer. The evolution has just been, I mean, it's been breathtaking. And Mandy Pope, she likes to spend money right back at it. $2.1 million for a Tappet earlier today at Keeneland.
And we've seen her step up and buy some other Tappets, and you know, it's fun to see like these horses go through the ring, bring these big prices. But let's follow along and see how it pans out over the next few years. If this horse was worth $2.1 million, maybe we're looking at another Derby winner, another Triple Crown winner, or maybe we're looking at another Green Monkey. You just never know. But you know what I thought was interesting, Jason, was Mandy Pope actually sold a couple of horses at this sale, too. So I'm sure that there's tax ramifications where there's some years she's going to have to show a profit so that it's not considered a hobby.
And that gray, actually the 9th yearling to hit the 7-figure mark. It looked like they were wheeling and dealing. And here's a quick little nugget. Tappet and Warfront together have accounted for just over $24 million in Keeneland sales at this particular meet. 20% in gross receipts for 38 horses. Think about that.
And that's an incredible statistic. Really, really good stuff you came up with there. You know, I've always felt like the yearling sales or the horse sales are usually a barometer of the economy or what's going to happen with the economy. Well, with these prices, maybe we can look for our economy to rebound a bit more.
We hope that's the case. We hope we have some good prices. I know we'll have some tight finishes for you on the show tonight as we get it to day number 4. Hard to believe, September 16th, yet this is opening Wednesday at Belmont Park, and a nice day it was, as you can see. Race number 3, Gangster. Most eyes are on him. He's sub 2-1 for Todd Pletcher. Here's Larry Colmus.
They're off. A very good beginning here. Day of Fury came out of the gate well. There goes Gangster, sent for early speed. These two out to the front together. And then it's Juan and Bina, Infinite, Midnight, and Indian Brute. Ice Cutter is last early on and 6 lengths off the lead. And Gangster is making the pace. Gangster in front. Day of Fury, second to the outside. 3/4 of a length off this pacemaker. And then it's Infinite Midnight to the outside of Juan and Bina, who's down at the rail. And then Indian Brute, Nice Cutter. Up the backstretch through a quarter of 23 and 3/5 seconds, and Gangster and Jose Ortiz lead the way. They're in front by a length over Day of Fury. Juan and Bina third to the inside. Infinite Midnight fourth. Indian Brute is fifth right now with 4 lengths to make up, just ahead of Ice Cutter, who will save ground into the turn. So they race into that far turn past a half mile in 47 and 1/5 seconds, and Day of Fury has joined Gangster. Day of Fury pokes ahead in front. Gangster on the inside is second. Infinite Midnight right there third. Juan and Bina fourth. Indian Brute and Ice Cutter around the far turn. And it is Day of Fury, Infinite Midnight, and Gangster who has now come under a ride on the inside. And Day of Fury is going strongly here. Day of Fury and Eric Consell turning for home in front. 3/4 in 1, 10 and 4. And Day of Fury is opening up now to a 4-length lead on Infinite Midnight. Gangster is thrown in the towel. Indian Brute, Juan and Bina, and Ice Cutter. It is Day of Fury. Day of Fury all alone as they come down to the wire. Day of Fury dominates them over Infinite Midnight, and then a head bob that may have gone to Juan and Bina over Indian Brute.
An upset in race number 3. Day of Fury tracked the pace outside, put away Gangster at 8-5, and easily kicked clear for a big win at 17 even.
Yeah, nice, neat little package there. Eric Cancel looks good finishing on a horse. David Jacobson gets off to a flying start at this Belmont Fall meeting. His horse is running lights out. Eric Cancel's a good little rider. The one thing, Jason, he has to work on is his hands. He tends to want to take just a bit too much hold. And you don't want to get into a fight. When he kind of grabs, you can see he's leaning back too much. Sometimes you just got to put your hands down and let the horse get comfortable. That's something that hopefully will come with experience, because that's the only thing I see that Eric needs to work on. His finish is great. He looks terrific on horses. He's smart. He's just got to get a little bit more sense of his feeling through the reins. His hands just got to get a little lighter.
All right, heady skill set for him. Angel Cordero, the mentor, and we'll see if Eric Consell can work on that. We'll see if he had another win today, Mig. Let's do it. We'll get you back to the action. Race number 5 closed out the pick 5 and early pick 4. We're on the turf. In fact, the opening grass race on the card. Widener 3/4. These are New York breds, 3 and up. Optional tags of $40,000.
They're off. Latigo Trail is going out to the front. 3 for Me away running in second. Man of Fire now moves up on the outside and heads up after the front runner up the backstretch. Saltine Warrior sits fourth early on. Then it's Lord of Love, Sun Worshipper, and Powerful Instinct is last up the backstretch as they move for the turn. Latigo Trail in front. Leads by a length over Man of Fire running in second. Saltine Warrior third to the outside. Then it's 3 for Me and a break of another 4 to Lord of Love and Sun Worshipper together. Powerful Instinct trails after a 22 and 4 first quarter. Around the far turn, Latigo Trail on top and getting away now. Latigo Trail has opened up a 2-length lead on the far turn. Man of Fire is second. 3 for Me follows them in third. Then it's Saltine Warrior, Sun Worshipper on the outside, and Lord of Love down toward the rail. And they're into the stretch, and it's Latigo Trail. Latigo Trail comes down to the 8th pole. In front by 2.5 lengths. 3 for Me and Man of Fire next. Lord of Love is behind horses and Sun Worshipper on the outside. Latigo Trail trying to take them all the way. 3 for Me cutting into the gap late on the outside. These two decided, and 3 for Me gets up to beat Latigo Trail. Then it was Lord of Love and Sun Worshipper.
Latigo Trail nearly home, but the long stretch on the Widener at Belmont caught up to him late, and it took a perfect, well-timed ride from Javier Castellano on 3 for Me, who continues to race in excellent form.
Yeah, he needed every inch of this 6 furlongs to run down Latigo Trail, who looked like basically he had a ribbon on it at the 16th pole. But 3 for Me, Steve Caceres, Javier Castellano, this horse, like you said, raging form. The third place finisher ran well, Lord of Love. A little bit of traffic problems up the upper stretch, finished well, but maybe a horse that always seems to kind of be going in the right direction without quite threatening.
Always picks up a piece, it seems, at big prices for John Hertler, who does an excellent job, along with winning trainer Steve Caceres, who's got 9 wins on this circuit over the last 3 months. Not bad when you consider the tough Saratoga. Nothing says new week at Belmont like a Wednesday late pick 4 with plenty of turf. We'll cover it here on Insider when we come back.
The new Parks Fall Festival will double purses for each of its 32 live racing days. What an opportunity for Pennsylvania breds. In an open maiden special, PA breds will run for over $100,000. So be there at Parks in the fall.
Hello, I'm Brian Sanfratello. Last year, we paid $33 million to PA breds in the form of breeder awards, owner bonuses, and restricted race purses. Our Equine Coalition Group is united in the pursuit of making sure that we receive every dollar we deserve. And that's why our Racehorse Development Fund has been constant in the past 4 years. Please go to our website at www.pabred.com or give me a call at 610-444-1050.
Irad Ortiz, 23, fresh off his first ever Saratoga riding title. Little thumbs up. See him in action on tonight's Insider. Day number 4 at beautiful Belmont Park. It's never too early to start talking about a weekend at Belmont during the autumn racing season. A $40 buy-in low roller handicapping contest, $40. A set of PPs and little luck. That's all you need. Registration, first floor of the grandstand, and how key, Mig, is it, as Jason and the Mig welcome you back here on Insider, for Irad Ortiz to get off to a quick start at this meet, considering the kind of success he had upstate?
Well, I don't think it's imperative for him because he's going to carry momentum over. You win Saratoga, it carries a lot of weight, and he's got to try to avoid kind of that post-Saratoga lull that, tends to happen. You work so hard up there, you want it. You don't want to get into that kind of feeling like, well, Saratoga's over and let down too much. There's a lot of year left, and he doesn't want to slow down all that good momentum, that good vibe that he's got going on.
All right, let's head back to the Belmont Park turf. Larry Colmus up in the booth. A few stories above us as we send it up for the call of Wednesday, 7th.
They're off. Spuntastic came out well, as did Skinnerbox. These two away the best, and they're joined by Cedacat and Estatique. And now these four, and Cedacat and Estatique take over. And then it's Amazing Ann running in 5th. Casey Lauren follows 6th. The Giant is lit. And Fantastic Eyes at the back. Up the backstretch, Estatique in front. Cedarcats alongside. Spuntastic is just outside of them, running in 3rd. The first quarter was in 23-1. Skinnerbox follows in 4th. 3 off the lead as they race for the far turn. After that, it's Amazing Ann. The Giant is lit. Casey Lauren to the outside. And Fantastic Eyes is last. Around the far turn, Estatique gets away, almost a full-length lead now. Over Cedacat, who edges up once again, and then Spuntastic to the outside. Skinnerbox and Amazing Ann are just behind them. And then it's Casey Lauren to the outside of the Giant is lit, and the trailer Fantastic Eyes. The half was 46-3, and they're coming to the top of the stretch. Estatique turning for home in front. Cedacat on the outside, now edging up alongside, and outside of them it's Skinnerbox. Estatique, Cedacat, Skinnerbox, Casey Lauren closing 2 on the far outside. Skinnerbox and Casey Lauren charging after Cedacat and Estatique. The 4 of them come down to the line. Irad Ortiz Jr. and Casey Lauren get up over Skinnerbox, Cedacat, and Estatique.
And how about that? Irad Ortiz with the upset for Chad Brown. A rare big price winner for the Connections, and Paul Pompa Jr. just under $20 in the win pool with Casey Lauren, who finished full of run. Yeah,
we were talking off camera about the 7-furlong distance being a fun distance to ride on the turf. It could be very tactical. Well, Irad rode the grass brilliantly in Saratoga, and he gave this filly a brilliant ride as well to get up in the shadow of the wire. The 3, Amazing Ann, a little bit flat, maybe running back so quickly in Saratoga kind of knocked her out a little bit more. Actually, you thought maybe she would have even had more time, even though it's a month, because when they run back that quickly, because she basically had a decent trip. This was empty.
Just completely empty. They were a little chilly on her, too, at around 3-1, 7-2.
Yeah. Players are sharp.
Yeah, they really are sharp. They bet Cedacat, who was right there, checked in 3rd, capped the try. As we move on to race number 8, this closed out the turf on day number 4. Firm once again at beautiful Belmont Park. We're on the Intergrass course at a mile and a 16th with this New York bred allowance optional claimer.
They're off. Very slow into stride was Eloi. XXX is going out to lead them early. It's XXX to the front with Iced Over away running in second to the outside. On the far outside here, the Footsteps is going up now. And then it's Ocala Jim, who sits back in fourth and races 3 lengths off the lead just ahead of Lawyer Jim and Mark My Style. Then Analysis, Birchwood Road. Between those two, Change Will Do You Good and slow starting Elwa trails the field through a 25 and 2 first quarter mile. It's XXX and Jose Lezcano opening up here. XXX wants to roll up front, opening up to lead by 3 up the back stretch. And then it's Iced Over. And here are the Footsteps, and now they move up right alongside of the front runner up the backstretch. And now Jose Lezcano lets out a notch again and opens up by 2. Then it's Ocala Jim in fourth. Lawyer Jim is fifth on the outside. And Change Will Do You Good moves up outside of them after a 49 and 2 half mile. Then Analysis, Mark My Style to the inside, Birchwood Road, and El Hua. So a bit of a breather on the backstretch for XXX, who leads the way down by a length. And here are the Footsteps. And Iced Over is down on the inside. 1 off the rail. Change Will Do You Good is 4 deep. Then Analysis. In behind them, Ocala Jim, Lawyer Jim, Mark My Style, Birchwood Road, and Elwa, and they're into the stretch. And it is XXX trying to hold on here. On the outside comes Iced Over. Here the Footsteps is closing 2. Farther out comes Change Will Do You Good. Ocala Jim splits horses late. On the far outside, Birchwood Road and Analysis. They're all coming down to the wire. Here's Birchwood Road and Analysis. Birchwood Road. Analysis was second best under the wire. And then came Iced Over. And here
wide sweeping late runs have done pretty well in the turf race. As we've looked at in the second segment. It was Casey Lauren onto a big price Birchwood Road at $35 beneath Junior Alvarado.
And one of the things we commented quite a bit on Saratoga was just how strong Junior Alvarado finishes, and this was fully on display here. And it did seem to me, Jason, where it seemed like both turf courses favored horses making that late run because the pace wasn't particularly fast in this race, although maybe it heated up a little in the middle. This horse got the last run down the center of the course.
And we'll see a few other highlights on today's card. I think the knee-jerk reaction for most players, including Andy and I even doing the prattles, you didn't want to be inside. We'll see if that held true or if we had some different opinions post 5:30 p.m. when the last race was run. Let's see. It's Wednesday's 5-pack, 1, 2, 4, 6, and 9 with Larry C.
Stretch of 46 and 4 half mile. They're into the stretch, and it is Bluegrass Prevails who has pulled away here to a 3-length lead, leaving Not So Quiet Man behind in second, and it's a long way back to 3 Skills in third, followed by King Dublin. It's going to be Elvis Trujillo and Bluegrass Prevails to pull away to win it easily here. Bluegrass Prevails over Not So Quiet Man, then 3 Skills and King Dublin. And Stay Tuned is now being ridden to go, and Stay Tuned is losing ground to the top 3. Bird Prince trying to re-rally, but not finding any running room there, and Subcontractors closing on the far outside. Into the final furlong, Sir Rockport. On the inside comes Silver Ride. Here comes Subcontractor to the outside of them. Bird Prince is still trying all kinds of trouble for him, but he's closing on the far outside. Subcontractor's got it, though. Subcontractor won it. And then it was Bird Prince in a photo with Sir Rockport, and Silver Ride 4 joins them with a wide run. Kiss Cat is in behind the leaders. Liberty Fuse saves all the ground. And then it's Trail Walker, and they're into the stretch. And it is Colonel Juanita, Time for Angie, and Greek Life. They went a half mile in 45 and 4. And coming to the 8th pole, Greek Life is not going on with a top 2. It's Time for Angie and Colonel Juanita. And Trail Walker trying to close in. Moving into 3rd. Greek Life is back to 4th. It is Time for Angie and Colonel Juanita. Time for Angie. Colonel Juanita was 2nd, and then Trail Walker and Greek Life. More stormy weather switches to the outside and begins to move up as they come to the top of the stretch. Etta Caronet turns for home in front. Etta Caronet, the leader. Awesome Quick on the attack now on the outside. And Awesome Quick ridden with confidence here by Sheldon Russell to the outside of Etta Caronet, and Awesome Quick has taken the lead. Etta Caronet back into 2nd, and then comes Laura's Patriot, and more stormy weather on the outside. Awesome Quick under the wire in front. And then it was Etta Caronet, followed by Laura's Patriot and more stormy weather. Pursuit, Sweet Pursuit has dropped back to 4th. A 46 and 3 half mile. They're into the stretch. Glare Ice coming down to the 8th pole in front by 3. It is Glare Ice with something left. from Your Credit is Good. And then it's Awesome Winter. On the far outside, Wild Image and Just Enough Dior, but they won't get Glare Ice. Glare Ice and Jose Ortiz to win it. Wild Image got second, Your Credit is Good third, then Just Enough Dior.
23K, the pick 6 carryover into Thursday's card. We get things underway at 12:55 here tomorrow. The forecast looks great all week long at Belmont. It does, so study up.
Yeah, it looks tremendous. And actually, I think, me and you are going to have to put a ticket in tomorrow.
I think we will.
I got some ideas.
All right, good. Study up. We'll we'll certainly preview race number 8 in a few moments on this show. Regarding the track bias, we saw Glare Ice, even Colonel Juanita skim the rail. I think the main track was pretty fair and even throughout the day. To the turf we go, though, for our second look. Sheldon Russell, very nice ride, shipping up from Maryland in race 6 with Also Quick.
Sheldon's such a nice rider. He's been plagued with so many injuries in a very brief career, really, if you think about it, bigger picture. But this was a nice, confident ride. He cruised up, came out, took the lead late under mild urging, very confident. And for a guy that he's had good success for, Niles Seville, who's that nice horse you rode from last fall?
Legendary.
Legendary. So Sheldon Russell, a person that I like, a good rider, but also a good guy, and it's easy to root for. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
And they got the cash.
Yeah.
Shipping back down 95 South to their base down in Maryland. Rider standings with only 4 cards down at Belmont Park. Irad Ortiz, the only jock in the room that had to win more than one.
Yeah, and the kind of usual suspects, maybe just a reshuffle of the deck from Saratoga, but all the same names in the top among the leaders, I guess I should say.
And the first 4 races today yielded only 2 winning trainers, and Gary Gullo and David Jacobson, who each picked up a pair.
Yeah, and again, some names added to this list. Tom Alba trying to get off to a great start here. Chad Brown, probably still smarting a little bit from Saratoga, but a guy who's had great success all year. And David Jacobson might have had a subpar Saratoga for him, but you're not going to keep him down, that's for sure. 2
fall Belmont titles in the past for Jacobson, and I wonder off his 2-win day if he's set to go on one of those big 30-35% Belmont runs. We'll see if he was active in the claim box. We've got a few slates, a couple different pages to bring you. Race 1, they claimed actually both halves of the Steve DeMauro Jr. entry, and we can move on and look at race number 4, 6, and 9.
Yeah, and I was actually talking to Stevie. He was surprised he took both horses.
Wow.
Horses that he thinks will improve with distance racing, but really hadn't shown a great deal up to this point.
Glare Ice won the last at 6-5, claimed by John Toscano. And what about that pick 6 carryover? The Mig and I will combine heads, and we'll look at tomorrow's 8th. Back to Big Sandy. We charge down to the finish line at beautiful Belmont Park. Saturday's card not too far off in the future. In fact, drawn today, 10 races, 12:55 the regular start time, a $300,000 guaranteed late pick 4, and the featured race on the card, the Noble Damsel for Fillies and Mares. How many times you win it?
At least once, and I think twice, but I can't remember. Filly for Clement, really nice filly. Her name's escaped me at the moment. I'm surprised you didn't come up with it already.
I should have looked. We'll look tomorrow,
Okay.
in fact, and I'll quiz you if you won 1 or 2. Let's get to the action here regarding race number 8 tomorrow. Second to last leg in the pick 6 carryover. Beyond Empire for Keir McLaughlin has the outside post.
I think the outside post, the switch back to Belmont with the 1-turn mile and a 16th, and this horse had enough racing to get fit because he looked to me like kind of a bigger, stuffier horse. I think Beyond Empire is very, very live tomorrow with the switch back to Belmont Park.
From Irad to Jose as they bookend the field. Jose has the rail with the 1 Sioux. Which Sioux do we get?
It's very interesting. I mean, Sioux back September 28th, the race we're looking at, he ran like a crazy horse. But I just kind of been off form. I mean, he really hasn't run back to that. He's got a change to Michelle Nevin. Michael Hushin did a good job with him. I don't know what Sioux you're going to get.
Well said with the crazy horse. How about Force? 2 starts back, pulled the right kind of trip, sat the pocket, wheeled out in the New York Derby. He followed it up with a bit washy outside comment in the Albany at Saratoga.
Well, I think that's the key to Force, so that's the advantage you have if you're on track. Keep an eye on Force in the paddock. He was wild in the paddock in Saratoga, washed out, hard to saddle. He basically left his race in the paddock. I think if Force acts better, he can run better, but I don't know what Force you're going to find out, and that's something you need to keep an eye on.
We like the unpredictability. In this case, though, it's predictable. We've got our 2 aces standing by, Andy and Maggie, with Thursday's plays.
Thanks a lot. Well, taking a look at Thursday's card, I think there's some interesting places to look around to play. I'll try to get us out or hopefully increase our winnings in the 9th race. The 9th race is a maiden 6-furlong turf sprint. And the 7 Super City missed the Saratoga meet, but ran on the second to last day of the Belmont meet. That day, she broke from an outside post and did not get out at the start, was all the way back towards last, made this big, huge, wide run on the turn, and understandably had nothing left for the stretch. That was breaking from post 12. Now you're breaking from a closer to the inside position. Nice rider change to Cornelia Velasquez. I think might fit this horse very well. She's kind of dirtied up by a couple of trips in both the races. I like her more than the horses we've seen run at Saratoga, and perhaps Super City can break her maiden in the 9th race at a fair enough price on Thursday's card.
It's all about the New York breds for the Paddock Insider tomorrow. Taking a look at a second-time starter in race number 4. This is fillies and mares, and we're going the 6 furlongs on the main track. Kelly Esk will come back to New York from Pennsylvania, Penn National to be exact, for trainer Todd Beatty. And she was well manned first time out, though she ran into a much improved women win as she chased her on the outside. This is a filly who is quick, and with not much other speed on paper, she looks to control this one. And I think getting that race under her belt will make her that much stronger, because I did like her overall in the paddock. So I'm going to look for Kelly Esk to improve second time out tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
Could do a lot worse than Todd Beatty shipping up to New York. That guy from Penn National is about as sharp as they come.
Very sharp. Horses always well schooled, well turned out, do the right things, and he doesn't ship for no reason. When he comes with intention.
I got some good memories. A fabulous strike coming up with Ramon Dominguez. That horse was just a monster. When he got healthy, he'd give you 3 quarters, 107-2, 107-3, a complete powerhouse.
Yeah, he'd give anybody all they could handle, that's for sure.
Now, American Pharaoh, not running Saturday down in the Pennsylvania Derby, but nominated to the September 26th Lucas Classic at Churchill Downs. What do you think of that?
I don't know exactly what they're doing. I'd be very surprised to see him run there. I think they probably nominated him to keep all their options open, call an audible if they need to. But off of his Travers and as much racing as he had early in the year, I believe we won't see him again, if we see him again, until the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Do you like the plan not to play trainer of potentially shipping him to Churchill? Forget about running in the Lucas Classic. Do you like the fact they may ship and train over that track for a few weeks before the Classic?
Yeah, I like that very much. I think if they had gone right from the Haskell to Saratoga, that they potentially would have won the Travers. I like a horse getting to a place, acclimating, settling in, and training at that place.
Get settled in with those past performances tonight. We got that $23,000 Pick 6 carryover, 9 races, and, of course, the Thursday edition of Belmont Insider with the Mig and myself. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.